Okay. 3, 2, 1, and we are live. Hey friends, it's Ernie from the Trader of Futures here with another report on things going on. Today we're gonna talk about PatternCast a little bit, the results that we had today. Now, I haven't talked about PatternCast results for a little while, and quite frankly, in June. It was a slow month. Only had about, I think, 10 trades, of which I think there were, I believe, 6 winners. Or was it 7? I'll have to go back and look. But in July so far, we've had, I believe, 8 trades and 6 winners so far, so that's good. And we had actually 4 trades happen last night, and today 3 of them have turned out to be winners. 1 of them is still in play and is only slightly underwater by just a few points. So there is a dissenter in the midst. Lego Wifey is saying, but where's the proof that 3 out of 4 calls that made good were stated before the event, not after? Don't mean to be rude, but evidence before bragging, no proof of sale. Well, I've never done that. Ever. I've never announced a trade without proof. And that's coming. They go on. Might just be wild turkey or a golden goose. Any chance of a taste test? Well, there is a 1-week trial. The other thing is, if you've been following for a while, and I know that you have, I'm very surprised that you haven't seen the dozens and dozens of other videos that I've created that have also gone over winning trades and shown you the calls prior to. So I really don't understand where you're coming from. Michael Goldman, yes, Ernie is back. Funny how the crypto market is wrecked today after the artificial pump. Makes me wonder if Tether is printing USD out of thin air. Oh, makes you wonder? There's no wonder in that. Tether is printing money out of thin air. It's just amazing to me. They come out a few months ago and openly admit. They probably did it at a time like on a weekend or something when nobody's listening, or I don't know. Openly admit that they do not have the money to back up the tether that is in play. And now, how can anybody be surprised? Another 100 million here, a billion here, blah, blah, blah. It just keeps on. They are a fraud. The pumps are frauds. All right. Yes, Trojan hell. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Okay, on to the proof. So we'll go through each of these trades. First, we'll look at the trade that didn't work out. Well, I shouldn't say it didn't work out. It's still in play because we give 4 days for all of these trades. And the one trade that didn't work out today. All right. So first of all, to answer Lego Wifey, I want you to take a very close look at, this is an email that comes out every night with the calls. And this is last night's email. And if you look very closely up here in the upper right-hand corner, I don't know if it's easy to see or not, but that came out yesterday at 9:13 p.m. That's Eastern Time. So, and I guess you can see it up here, but if you look, you can see that this signals were generated on 7/9, and therefore, that's just the rules. Therefore, the coming trading session for futures, that means that we're in the trading session at that moment, and that will last until the next day, until 5 o'clock. For Forex, that means that it starts at right around 9 o'clock or so. For stocks, it means it starts the next day, the following day at 9:30 a.m. until the market closes at 4. So the emails that go out are always for the coming session. So they are in advance. All right, so you can see here it is right there. Now the one trade that has not worked out yet is Platinum, and that was to buy. Let's see, and this is Platinum up here in the upper left, and we can see right now. This morning, it triggered at 8:27, which is right about here. That would be a sell from here. We're looking for it to go down, and currently we're at 8:30, so we're about 3 points underwater. All right, not a big deal. We give it 4 days to work out. Chances are there's a very, very high probability, somewhere around 75%, that this will work out. Not only work out, but hit the target and exceed the target by as much as 200% on average. So I'm not worried about it, especially considering that there were 3 other trades that worked out spectacularly. So let's take a look at let's take a look at this one right here, the Canadian dollar. All right, and so we can see here that was a sell at 0.7656. And we'll go over here and we'll plug in 6C, which is the Canadian dollar. And we'll go back to the signal, and that was a sell at 7,656. And 7,656.7, which would be right about here. So it triggered right at the very top of this move and sold, went through, let's see, the target was 7,634. 7,634 is right about here. So it opened at the target, opened at the entry, went through the target, and then came down as low as 761, which looks to be about 170% of the target or so. So that was a big winner, and of course it's reversed since then. All right, let's see. The next one was the euro. So the euro was a breakout trade, and we called it breaking out at 1.128. So 128 is right about here. 128 and some change, 1281, which is right about here. And so you can see that the euro broke out and is continuing, and the target for the euro was 1.131, which is right about here. So it's gone through the target, and it looks like we're still going up. All right. Let's see, did EMD trigger? We'll look at it, whether it triggered or not. So EMD was a buy at 1919, and it never triggered. All right, it never got down low enough for us to buy. Heating oil. I know I'm going through each one here, whether it triggered or not. Heating oil was also a buy at 1.863. It never got down low enough to buy. What I'm showing here is the beginning of Wednesday here. The signals were put out Tuesday night, so it never got low enough for it to trigger. That's heating oil. Live cattle. Live cattle didn't trigger either. Platinum, we already looked at. Silver was a buy. Or sell. I think there were 2 signals on two buys actually. If it got down to I'm sorry, 14.83 or 14.95. And actually that never triggered. So silver never triggered. What about the Dow? Oh, was a breakout at 26,807. So 26,807 is right there. So here's our third winner. And the target was 26,885. 885. So you can see that it clearly broke out here and went through the target, and looks like it was about 160% of the target at least. And, you know, you could still be in this trade. You could have taken a second shot at it even, because it came back down to the entry, and it's up again. So you might, this might have been one of those trades that that keeps on giving. All right, so there you go. There are the signals that came out last night, and I just went through all the winners. If we look at Boeing at 340.13, you can see that it never triggered. It came down to a low of only this, so that never occurred. And none of the others have triggered either. The Aussie dollar or the Swiss franc, neither of them triggered. And none of the others triggered either. So there you go. There are all our winners. There's the Canadian dollar, the euro, and the Dow. And PL is underwater just by a few ticks. So I don't know if Lego Wifey has anything to say after that, after seeing that, or if it makes a difference. V. Lee, hold the stream. Okay. I don't know where you want me to hold it. Ernie, are you still holding LTC? Yes, and I did see that it popped down quite a bit this morning. So let's take a look at LTC. Yep. I don't have a big position, by the way. I have, as I've said before, under $1,000. So I took about $100 hit. It came down very sharply. Of course, Bitcoin is up a little bit. So that means that the LTC BTC pair is down. So that took a big hit. So I think that this is actually a good time, if you do have Bitcoin, to get out of Bitcoin and into Litecoin. Of course, I thought it was a good time back here, but now it's even a better time. All right. See, Ernie, what I tell you, the tone vase kill zone signal worked as a counter indicator. I don't really watch tone vase anymore. What I meant about Tether is they're printing out of thin air, lure suckers in with FOMO, then dump to get real USD. Well, what I meant was that everything that they're doing is fraudulent, and so I think we're on the same page there. So for Boeing, wait till 340, only if it triggers today. So after today, that signal is gone. After 4 o'clock, Boeing is no more. So yeah, it has to come down to 340.13. And it doesn't look like there's a good chance for that to happen right now. It has to drop significantly, and it doesn't look like it wants to do that. All I says, I'm holding from 3.8K to 4.2K. He's talking about Bitcoin as my average buy-in. That's awesome. Holding to 0 or 100K, whichever comes first, I guess. Got a new strain I'm growing from seed. The genetics are Platinum Banana OG crossed with Green Crack. So what is it called? Platinum Crack or Green Banana? Oh, and then its name is Bananas and Crack. Yeah, I like green banana better. Bananas and Crack doesn't really mean a whole lot. Like, I like Platinum Crack. That sounds better. I mean, but that would be the last name that I would have chosen out of that cross. The Canadian dollar, almost as big of a joke as the Prime Minister. That might be, but it's tradable. Petros Poulos. Mary and Ernie, I'm telling you, almost zero of the money in Bitcoin is real. It's almost all Tether. And I can believe that. I can absolutely believe that. Raziel says, Ernie, Bitcoin dumped actually. The BLX sticker is slow to update. It updates at the end of the day. Oh, really? Thank you for telling me that. I was looking at it only because we were considering the BLX data feed. So let me take a look at BTC USD. Ah, yes. Okay. So it's down too. It's not down significantly, though. But that definitely looks like a turning handle. Now, this may be the second blow off top. I thought that this first one down here, this little tweezers, was the blow off top, but it's not. This may be the secondary blow off top on this bubble. So if that works out that way and we start moving down, then that's what that will be deemed, the secondary blow off top. I hate to be the only one who says I told you so. Told me what? I wasn't in disagreement with the fraudulency of Tether at all. So I agree with you. And Raziel says that's why I mentioned that. Okay, now I'm catching up with all the comments, and we got the right chart up there. Michael Goldman says, what are your thoughts on gold, silver bullion versus gold, silver ETFs or mining stocks? Well, the gold, silver ETFs are theoretically tied to physical gold and the futures, where the mining stocks, they have a high degree of correlation between the physical. But they're more based on supply and demand, and or their specific business economic calendar and things that are happening actually within that company, with the big influence of the overall price. And for that reason, mining stocks with gold ETF is actually probably a good statistical arbitrage trade to play, where you go long one and short the other, depending on where they are in their cycle. Petro says, so if we're on the same page, why would you be in any crypto? Like I said, I have a very, very, very small amount. I have under $1,000. And I've told people why I'm into crypto. The reason why I'm in it, for two reasons. One is I feel like I have skin in the game and at least some credibility in talking about trades or whatever. And secondly, I use it to play and make a little bit of profit to buy toys. And I've talked about that many times as well. So hopefully that's a good enough reason for you. Alex asks, how much does the fact that a lot of shitcoins pair with BTC for trades help boost its demand? I don't think that the shitcoins really have... I think the shitcoins are completely a slave to BTC. The shitcoins are shitcoins, and they're going to act like shit because they are shit, regardless of what BTC does. Would you call that candle a doji, Ernie? Yes, it is a doji that we're looking there. That is a doji. I would call that a reversal doji. There's probably a pattern that we can find with the pattern site, the Bukowski pattern site. It's called thepatternSite.com. So you might want to look at the candlestick visual reference and see if there's a pattern that matches that. I'm willing to bet that that's kind of a reversal pattern. Reversal, of course, in his personal ideology and sentiment. And I think that came about through pressure by Trump. Trump wants this bull run to continue, and he saw no particular good reason to raise rates for the sole purpose of trying to slow down this recovery. That makes no sense. I mean, why would you want to limit a recovery to 3% when you could go to 4 or 5 or 6%? I mean, that's the time when you might put the brakes on a little bit. Lego Wifey says, most of your videos are blocked in China. That's why I didn't see them. Ah, okay. Wonder why they would be blocked in China. What did I do? What did I say? Raziel says, agreed, Ernie. Skin in the game is important. Look at that Scamertone vase making a living from trading by not trading. Exactly right. Gorvig, a Christian. Ernie, you're the man. Keep it up. Well, thank you very much. Really appreciate that. So how do you know that I have skin in the game? I guess the easiest way, and I say I have under $1,000. It's well under 1,000. I'll show you what I have. So that, yeah, earlier I guess I lost about $60, which isn't much. So here's my Coinbase account. Currently at $594. Earlier today it was at $658, so I guess lost about $60, or about a little over 10%. So I've had, a bit more. I've had several $1,000s in there, and I was playing it back and forth, and I've taken a lot out. I use some of it to play online poker. I use some of it to purchase usually things related to pool, very expensive cues, that sort of thing, because that's what I'm into. They're not only going to cut rates, QE4 is probably coming almost definitely. Well, you're probably listening to Greg Manarino or something, but I don't see any particular reason right now to add liquidity to the market. The market is moving all on its own. I think that you have a fair number of people that are trying to talk down this market. But when you look at the employment numbers and in manufacturing and housing, there really doesn't seem any really good reason to add liquidity to this market. So I'm not so sure that that's in the cards. Well, Peter Schiff and Greg Manarino, they're kind of on the same page. Of course, Peter Schiff is a permabull, and he thinks that yes. He is always saying that QE is going to happen. He's always saying that the market is, that we're into another credit bubble and everything's going to explode. Always. Of course, he was right about the 2008, 2009 crash, but that's because, the previous 6 or 7 years he was saying that there was going to be a crash, and now he's basically repeating that whole thing again. So, and then, he makes a good case, and the case fits when it actually happens. Sure, if you buy government statistics. Now, I didn't say if I buy government statistics. But on the other hand, it is kind of difficult to totally, how should I say, manipulate all of them to create some sort of narrative. Because a lot of the agencies have competing views, and some of them are not the tool of whatever political powers that be. So I believe today's government statistics way more than I believe the Obama era government statistics. I believe that virtually everything in the Obama era was weaponized, and particularly in the DOJ, and we're going to see a lot of that happening, coming to fruition now. As a matter of fact, there was something very interesting, a development that happened today with General Mike Flynn. That is basically his whole case is being thrown out. So Raziel says, stocks rising when economic reports are poor because people perceive an upcoming rate cut. That is true. And stocks dumping when, yes, it's kind of like an inverse relationship, and kind of an inverse relationship from hell, because it's counterintuitive. And it's been that way for a long time. And it's still taking, I think, Wall Street a little time to get over, the manipulation that we had during the Obama years. Now, Obama was able to increase taxes and regulation dramatically there was damning effect. I mean, we were trying to do what could have potentially been a huge recovery, but it stymied that recovery, yet it still kept it going with ultra-low volatility, and he was able to raise taxes and so forth and get away with it because the Fed kept interest rates at near zero. Now, the economy still goes up with interest rates going up, despite the fact. But I think that Wall Street is still clamoring for those low rates. They want those low rates because to them that means more profit. Unfortunately, Michael, I accidentally hit delete on your message, but it says, I missed the angry Ernie in the late 2017 shitting on the crypto market. Oh, I've done plenty of angry videos. I'm in a pretty good mood today, but just give me your fucking reason. Watching your videos over and over while the YouTube pumpers got wrecked. Glad I sold then. Alex says, is the stock market in a bubble? Well, I think all markets are perpetually heading towards a bubble. The stock market is definitely heading towards a bubble, but it's not overvalued yet. It's not even close to overvalued. As a matter of fact, I think that we have at least a dozen years of continuing rise in the stock market. This is going to be the longest and most powerful expansion in our history. It already is, quite frankly. Iceman says, I knew there was a big move coming, and now because it moved down, I don't think I want to chase this anymore. PatternCast tool much better to sleep with at night. That is very true. PatternCast, first of all, it doesn't keep you into markets too long. At max, you're in about 4 days. And it's and also it distributes those calls across markets, and we designed it specifically for that reason. The other thing is that all of the strategies practically never repeat each other, so they're all uncorrelated with each other. So we have trades that are distributed across all markets and strategies that are uncorrelated to each other, with just short hits in the market, and that results in a fantastic equity curve, and like Iceman is saying, allows you to sleep at night. Hold on one sec. Yes, sir. I am online. How you doing? Yeah. All right, bye. That was my partner in PatternCast. These posers like Tone Vase sit around and pontificate all day long without a trade on because they trade too much size. Just put damn trade on and move on to the next. Exactly! And that's exactly what we professed in PatternCast. Right now you can get into PatternCast with a 1 week trial. It is $199 a month. If you, let's see, maybe what I'll do is I'll offer a coupon that will give a significant discount to the first month. So you can do the 1 week trial and then try the first month. So you'll have actually a month and a week of trying out PatternCast and at a very small cost, and you'll be able to, try it. You can paper trade through that whole thing. It won't cost you a whole lot of money. I think that's a good idea. I think that's what I'll do. I'll do that tomorrow. Posers like Tone Vase, okay, and Petro says disagree there. I'm not sure exactly what you're saying there. So many people are crying about the top 20 altcoins when the new altcoins in the back page are showing gains and profits right now. Flexicon and Quant are backed by major players. I'm sure that there are some good altcoins out there or have good intent or are backed by legitimate concerns. Right now, there's not a huge business case for them. I mean, they've come up with, they solve problems. The problem is that nobody really cares that problem is solved. Alex says, good idea with the coupon. I'll try it if you do that. All right. So we'll do that. When you say the stock market isn't overvalued yet, what are you using to draw that conclusion? So that is based on some analysis that I share with Chris Shivako. And if you want to take a look at his site, it's Shivako Capital. And I believe that it's an analysis between bonds versus equities, and we've been in that pairing. We were in a very, very long-term consolidation, and every time we're in a long-term consolidation, it's followed by a multi-year breakout. And we are now in that breakout mode, but we've only just started. And if you follow it to its logical conclusion, it's about another 10, 15 years to go. So that's where it comes from. Southside Player Crypto, when everyone goes left, go right. Well, being a contrarian, I would have to agree with that. All right. Raziel says, Flexicoin Quant? Oh, please, those shitcoins are nothing new, just another flavor of the month pump and dump. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about the particular coins. I haven't been following them. I have no reason to follow them. Alex says, funny enough, I've never traded anything besides crypto. Don't know how futures or forex trading works. Well, that's fine, because we have a trade room. It's a private trade room. It's Discord based, and a lot of our traders are in there every day. We provide all the support that you need. I'm available all the time, so if people want personalized support, I'm more than willing to give it. We have webinars, or mini webinars, sort of impromptu webinars throughout the day in the trade room as well. And so if you wanted to learn more about trading futures, I have plenty of videos back there. Trading futures really isn't that hard. As a matter of fact, I think trading futures in a lot of respects is easier to trade than stocks, because you're dealing with aggregated markets, and also you have much better liquidity and very little third-party or counterparty risk. The Spedden app which I believe is a to allow stores to accept crypto as payment, right? Is in major stores now. You buy Starbucks and many other stores with that Spedo app by Flexa, backed by those Gemini Exchange twins. Yeah, I tried getting into that. I couldn't, for whatever reason, they would not give me a, I couldn't get the app. So I'm not, maybe that's changed now. I gave up when it first came out. Raziel, you're wrong on this one, bud. Uh-oh, we got a war going. All right. Polyfarm rode the BTC bubble all the way to the lows last year with Ernie when his Discord was public last year. Ernie is the fucking man. Truth be spoke. See, and people want me to be angry. How can I be angry in the face of something like that? Oh, man. Yeah, so what do I do with my $590 in crypto? Oh, by the way, you know, you can purchase a membership with PatternCast with crypto. I do allow that. So if you're interested in that. Thank you, Southside. All right. We are 38 minutes into this show. Ernie, do you agree clowns rule? The slippery gold man, the clown. Rent a Lambo. Well, here's the problem with renting a Lambo. My driveway is like yay steep and very long. And I guarantee you, as I drive that Lambo up the driveway and then try to get over the hump onto my street, it's going to scrape the bottom. The other thing is that, although in the summer months, if I had a driveway I could get out of, it'd be okay. But in the winter months, it would be impossible. That's why I only own all-wheel drive vehicles. See, I live in the woods. It's not really the woods. I live in the middle of a wildlife sanctuary. I've got a lot of land, and then I'm surrounded by thousands and thousands of acres of conservation land. So, while driving a Lambo might be fun, it's not in the cards for me. I'd have to leave it somewhere. I have to park it somewhere. And I have no real reason to do that, you know? I'd rather spend the money that it would cost to rent a Lambo on maybe a trip to Vegas and play pool with some of my buddies out there, or maybe upgrade my pool table. Well, actually, I need a new pool table. I need to get these grow rooms out of here and put my pool table back in here. What do we do without $600 in Coinbase? Do you like Litecoin at $90, or should I take a hike in the woods? I would opt for a hike in the woods, because that's what I'm going to do tonight. That's for sure. But I think I'm going to take the money in Coinbase and I'm going to put it into... Where should I put it? I know. I'm going to play some online poker. See if I can double that and then bring it back. How's that? Maybe by that time, Litecoin will be down to $90 and that investment will be good. So I'll come back with more money and then add it in there. Can you do an interview with the Scope Labs? It would be good to hear his perspective again. Well, Scope Labs is not in the business anymore. He doesn't want to be. He is independently wealthy and living the life that you could only dream of. While I keep in touch with him, he really has no need or no want or desire to do anything, have anything to do with finance. So If no Lambo, get a hoe for night for the night. Well, I do profess, going for Lambos and hoes. The wife probably wouldn't look kindly on that. I don't miss the grow rooms, Iceman. They're right there. How could I compare the bonds versus equities price you mentioned on TradingView? Well, first of all, you need a higher level account in order to do the pairs. I'm also looking at Shivaco's site now. Thanks. You're welcome. Watching your show and smoking some good trees is the shit. So hold on a second. Let's see what I have a bunch of stuff in my my closet. Let me see what we have here. What is this here? I just picked up a few jars. Might be the same thing here. Oh yeah, this is Goliath. Ooh, it's sticky. Is there a better bud in there? All the good ones are at the bottom. Not bad. What is this one? Ooh, boy. What a smell on that one. Yeah, that one's nice and red. I like the red buds on this. Those are shorts. Just have Scope Labs on talking about life, sports, boxing. He's an interesting man. Yeah, he is. But I guarantee you he won't want to come on. He has really no interest in doing that. Is there a minimum amount you need for an account with PatternCast? You can trade the micro accounts, and we do have some customers that can trade with as little as $3,000 to $5,000. But If you wanted, you wouldn't be able to trade everything because of the margin requirements. If you wanted to trade everything, then I would say you could probably do it with $15,000 to $20,000. So you can trade with a very small account, and then you can grow, depending on what you want. But most people, I think, have between a $20,000 and a $50,000 account. I've got the pro trading view. Would that be enough to compare bonds? No, I don't believe it is. You need the next level up, the top level. What do we need to take all of the trades to win? Like I said, you can trade with as little as $3,000 to $5,000 and have a very nice winning account. I think a lot of people start. I would say that most people are starting with about $10,000, and they'll trade micro accounts. They don't trade some of the bigger margin-heavy contracts, things like EMD, which requires about $9,000 in margin. So you obviously couldn't do that with a $10,000 account. So they'll skip those trades as they come, and then only trade micros of all the others, the currencies, the indexes, the gold, the energy, and etc., as well as the forex and the stocks. People that have a $20,000, $25,000 account can pretty much trade just about anything that they want, and of course people above that trade whatever they want, or trade multiple contracts in each one. You smoke for fun or medical reasons? I hardly smoke at all. I smoke for genetic purposes. Most of this, and mostly my daughter. I mean, that's her. I mean, she's a master grower. In the beginning, I was very involved in actually creating all the systems and everything for her, and we were in it together and created a lot of hydroponic systems, but now we're completely organic soil. Found that it's just much more reliable and gives a better quality product. But yeah, if you want to call it medical reasons, I don't really smoke that much. Yeah, Michael, that was like one of, I don't know, 30 or 40 jars in there. We have all different types of variety. Yes, it is now the MJ cast. Everybody smokes for fun. Actually, my daughter smokes for true medical reasons. She has some anxiety, sleep disorder, and also acid reflux. Amazing. Yes, Jesse Lee Peterson is the bomb. Ernie, do you wake and bake? No. I did for 30-something years. I mean, I smoked almost every day from the time I was 14 to maybe my early 40s. But I haven't done that for a long time. What could be the ballpark return in a year on a 20K account? Also, any suggestions on cannabis stocks? Your ballpark return is going to depend completely on you, and there's really no way for me to determine that, because we have some people that since we've been open, have doubled or more their account over the past 7 months, and other people that are still like just a little bit above break even, and maybe one or two people that have not turned a profit. So all with the same signals. So the differentiator really is those people's ability to be able to keep their position size small and trade with discipline. The signals themselves are, fantastic. I mean, you get the best opportunities I've ever seen. But you'd be amazed that some people can take the best trades ever and still not make money with them. So it's hard for me to say what you're going to do, Alex. If you're a disciplined trader and you know how to keep your margin in check, and quite frankly, if you just went by the entries and the exits of the system and not try to do anything much more than that, you're going to make money. So that's the great thing about it. It kind of takes that whole worry away from you. And you just have to worry about the execution. Just concentrate on that. It's not even a worry. You just get good at the execution. And really, that's the real value of this system. And because there are so many different trades that might happen in a week, you just trade small with each one. And those profits start building. Alex watches Jesse Lee Peterson too. I was watching him this morning. He was funny this morning. He is amazing. You know, he's just like that in real life too. He's a real character. So anyways, oh man, Coinbase, the account continues to fall. Definitely going to have to put it into crypto. Online poker. So I'm going to go into my Bravada account. Bravada, I think it's Bravada. Is that it? Bravada or Bravado? How do you pronounce it? Bovada. My Bovada account. And see if I can work that amount up. You've called in a few times this show. Did he call you a beta male? Beta! Okay. I think I'm good for now. We have accomplished the mission today. We have talked about the returns on PatternCast. Tomorrow, I'm going to introduce a deal on PatternCast. All right, it's going to be a deal that you won't be able to really get around. Also, if you're interested in information or being updated when the Bitcoin signals for PatternCast come out, down below in the description, there's a link there. You can put your name and email and stuff and any other comment that you have, and we'll keep you up to date on what's happening with our Bitcoin signals, because they're going to be out soon. Gave you some good advice on forgiving your parents. Yep. Well, he's all into the forgiveness. It's a very important thing. Stairs. So if you haven't played Bovada, I would highly recommend it. It's really a good poker site. It's completely anonymous, so when you're playing other people, you don't know who you're playing. There are no real usernames or specialty icon or avatars or anything like that. So everyone looks exactly the same, and I kind of like that. A lot of pros are on there as well, and they like that too. All right, now we are done. We're approaching an hour. If you haven't done so already, I want you to go down and hit the like button, and if you have other social accounts, hit that share button. Share it in your Twitter, share it in your Facebook, share it in your LinkedIn. I'd really appreciate that, or anywhere else that you'd like to share it. And maybe someday we'll talk a little bit more about the amazing Jesse Lee Peterson. I don't think he wants to be white. He just recognizes, in his own view, that the white people right now have it going on, and that the black people should listen to the white. This is Jesse talking, not me. Jesse's black. But I'm not sure that he wants to be white. He's happy being what he is. All right. That's enough for this. Thank you very much for showing up today. Hit that like button, and we're going to do this all again tomorrow. All right, let's find that exit. Where's that exit? Where'd you put it, Ern? There we go. Stop streaming. Have a good day, y'all. Bye.